Seriously. Oh well, messed up my intro, but just continue here. Smash with a big old wave. Alright, some crazy weather going on out there, you guys. That was Italy and Sicily that just got hammered there. Okay, so here we're lucky. We've been dodging a lot of bullets. Everybody else seems to be uh, receiving the bad weather right now. Okay, let's get this all set up here and going for you. Howdy, everybody. Welcome. Let me get this going here a little bit. And we don't have all the data for tonight. We are, it only goes up to 1400, but whatever they, well, we're going to address what they may have deleted here. Sorry, making a few last camera adjustments here so you guys can get the optimal effect or see. Let me grab my pointer here, and as usual, we will freeze frame this and go through it frame by frame. And for you guys that been around here for a minute, got the trained eyes, I'm sure you can see what's going on in there. And it's almost a replay of yesterday. It looks exactly like yesterday's event. Well, not exactly, but it's very similar in shape, size, and the direction of it. So let me get to the opening frame here, and we will pause it on that. Boom. So yeah, it only went up to like 1400. we're missing uh, like 12 hours, no, 10 hours, 8 hours of data. Okay. So here we are, opening frame 024. Let me just show you. This is November 12th, 2023. Okay. And then as we go through here, let me just adjust a tad bit better for my buttons. All right, here we go. As we start marching through here, you can see something already right here. Something going on up there as well. But I want to address our main event for today. So we're just plugging along frame by frame here till we get to our, look at this stream going off the top up here. You see these two spikes right there? I bet you something comes out of that region here soon. So here's our event for today, coming off the same area as it did yesterday. And let's see if we can find a good frame here for you. Uh-oh, I got music in the background. Turn that off. I'm looking for just the right frame. I think it's the second to the last frame. Okay, I think it's the second. There's the last frame right there of data. You can see our round object up here. As we go backwards, you can see it moving back towards this area. But this one frame here, where is it that one? This one, I guess. So yeah, I need to zoom in on this one. And something I want to point out in this frame here, whoops, as we get zoomed in here, is object seems to have little buddies trailing along with it here. And you can make out this one right here, a little small one right there, and then there's another one right down here. Let me zoom in a little tighter for you guys here. And pull it over. Okay, so the first one already kind of went by, but you can see these other little ones right here, and down here. Let's see if we can capture this just right for you guys. I think I'm zoomed in. Well, let's just describe it real quick first. We seem to have a bigger object right back here, and this plasma is almost draping over the top of it. It's almost like, say, a head with hair on top of it, kind of draping over the top. So you can see by this flow right here, it's coming off. It's this electrically charged, split in three ways. This plasma hits it like a hand and just splits 3 to 4 ways around a bigger spheroid. You can see this plasma being draping off the top, going back up this way. Let me just see. I think you guys might be able to see it right there as I kind of described it. So it looks like we have a bigger object right here with a bunch of moons trailing with it. Can you see that now, possibly? And it shows up in this frame and the last frame. Let's go. Whoops. Oh, it's either zoom in and out or fight with the bar. So here we go. Then here's the very next frame, and you can still see that we have our round spheroid here with this plasma streaming off the back of it right here. And you can still make out the little moons. This is the next frame. All right, so what I'm going to try to do, let's see if we can hit play while we're still zoomed in there. Oh, come on now. I think we're too zoomed in. I want you to be able to see something that's going on here. Okay, there we go. We're capturing it. Let me pull this over just a bit more. There we go. All right. Can you see the little object and the bigger one in the back there? And it has all those little moons trailing with it. Then, what, is it this one or yesterday's that I was looking at? All right, well, we're just going to leave it at that real quick. I need to back up a day, and we need to talk about today's solar impact. Okay? Um, it was it was a result of what came off the sun on the 9th. So let's back up here to the 9th and let that load up real quick. I want to talk about something here. Okay, there's our full halo CME. I'm not sure if all of you are aware, but there was a tsunami today in Brazil where there was no earthquake or anything to induce it. Their explanation is it was a atmospheric or weather type induced tsunami. I forget their new scientific term for it, but it sounded like an excuse. And something I wanted to check. I went back to see what happened on the 9th and to see if anything came off like down below that would affect the southern hemisphere. All right, so watch down here. Did you see that coming off the sun right there? Everybody else is looking at all this other stuff. This thing down below sneaks out. Now we're going to go in close on this because it looks to be more than just what we're used to reporting on. And I'll let you guys kind of be the judge of this. I'll freeze frame it and kind of go a couple of frames that's there. Maybe you can see it while it's moving, but let me capture it and then we'll, all right. This is a strange CME. First, it starts off as these original 2 points of light that are equal distant out from it. And just go back, you can almost see that there's something with twin tips pointing. It almost looks like our objects are here. You see these little dents in the there we go. Yeah, there's a couple of them hiding in there. I think if we go just a tad bit in. Yeah, you can at least make out this one faintly right there. It seems to be right in that region. But anyways, this right here seems to be something different. And at one point, it almost looks like an X-Wing fighter. Or you'll have to come over to this instrument and play around with it and zoom in on it and stuff. At one point here, it looks like an X right there, almost like an X-Wing fighter, and then skull and crossbones in one of these. Was it this one? I don't know. Come over here and check it out. But this little event down south is what passed the southern hemisphere today and probably helped induce that tsunami. They said it was a atmospheric pressure induced tsunami. Well, yeah, the atmosphere was induced by some pressure, the passing of this object down below here at the southern hemisphere. I believe that might be our cause. The gravitational pull of such an object passing, to the south there, will tug the water just like the moon does and cause a rise in tides, a rise in water. A few years back, we had these sudden withdrawals of water where there was no tsunami, and other places where the water crept in and there was no tsunami. So today there was another creep in of water type wave, tsunami wave, that I believe, I'm not gonna say it is for sure, but I believe could have been induced by this passing object to the south here. So let me back out so we can get just a better perspective of it here. I think we're too zoomed in. And then we'll go like that and let you guys be the judge of that. John White before eccentric orbits lately, it would seem one. Yes, Mr. John White there. I have seen stuff be stationary and very slow to pull out. Some of these slow motion events that you see creeping out really slow, there's an object hanging out right there and it finally gets pushed away slowly and then snaps loose. I've seen that several times here. In fact, that's what looks to be going on up here, a slow motion event. See how it still sparkles and it's moving out slower than the rest of the plasma. This one up here, wait, right here. Oh, move my fat hand. But yeah, as an engineer, I believe you. I believe you. Anyways, so there's our activity from the 9th that affected today, and possibly this event down south here, whatever that is, because that did not look like our typical round black spheroid object that we are used to seeing inducing such events. It looks different, let's just say. Okay, and then I showed you today, so let's come on over here now to our solar report. Please, Lord, can we have it? There it goes. All right, something I want to point out here. I'll just do all the zooming in and out. You guys are so patient with me. Thank you so much. Oh, now if I can just have control of the slide. There we go. Today we have something different. See this dip right here? We've seen the eclipses, those sharp valleys that drop down, but this does not look like one of those, does it? This looks like a weak pulse, a pulse of weakness in the sun really quick. It just kind of went pew, whoop, and right back up again. Let me get as close up to this as I can. Be patient here. I just want you to see the difference. We don't see this on this instrument very often. And you notice how the sun gets weak? We have these events. It kind of peters out and goes below the sea floor. This is the C line, the class for the line for C class, and we drop below it into B range, and then we have this, all right, in the sun. It just kind of went, yeah, in the sun, just the X-ray flux. Okay, so it took a little dive there. Okay, and wait till you see what else we got going on. Okay, so kind of keep that in the back of your head there, that weakening there, that little plummet in the sun right there. That's not good. I don't want to ever see this line go below this B range. Get out of there, little zoomer. Let me point something out real quick to you guys. Take a sip here. Note the coloration on this side of the graph. Red, is X class, M is yellow, C is green. C is the good range. M is cautionary, danger. Red is extremely dangerous. These boxes down below need to be color coordinated the same. This B should be semi-cautious, yellow, and then this A zone means caution. The sun's about to have a heart attack and die. Do you understand kind of what I'm saying here? These little boxes, they're just gray, but they should be yellow and red. And the sun is in the yellow range and just took a dive to the red line. Let me just zoom that in for you one more time. Okay, do you see this little gray line on here? That's the red line. That goes into the A class. Look how close we came right there. All right, so just kind of keep that in the back of your head as we go through the rest of the report tonight. All right, boom. Now, M-class flares are up to 45% potential, C-class 90, of course. This X-class flare, 5%. We could get just a surprise one. I don't know. I could see if this activity continues, no X class flares, but we've seen some jumbled activity here in the last couple of days. Actually, this whole week. Excuse me. We still got this sunspot that's beta gamma. All right, now here we go with the KP index. All right, today's uh, absorption, today's event. All right, we had strong auroras that went into the red. I didn't get to capture them because I'm very busy during the day. And anyways, I saw some other reports that captured our auroras down here. Were very bright green, yellow, and even red in the middle. Oh, hopefully somebody captured it. Your screen got it. Anyways, KP of 5 today. That was a little higher than expected. Okay, and that's the new blast that hit us. Okay, now keep that in the back of your mind as well as we continue on. All right, now at this moment, this is good news. All right, I'm glad that there is no big thick aurora with a red band to report on right now because there was earlier. All right, and that's a lot of energy for this overcharged battery called the Earth to be taking on more charge, more electrons, more energy getting shoved into this overcharged battery. Okay, the Earth has a negative and a positive pole. It acts like a capacitor, which is a battery basically, and it stores up energy until it can't hold anymore, and then it starts to release it. That energy builds up inside, and all kinds of stuff happens. All right, let's come over here to the tracker real quick. Let me zoom in on this. You guys are so patient, just me zooming in and out. You gotten used to it, I guess. Oh, it's gone now. They were showing the CME from yesterday still clipping us, all right? So it's not on here now, but we still have an inbound CME for tomorrow, I think. We'll go back and check out the dates again, but it's too bad that this is gone already. Alrighty, well, we're out of here. All the way out, right? There we go. They're not really talking about it too much here. Where to go? The CME observed on the 9th passed Earth early Sunday a little later than expected. Okay, just like I said, they were all jumping the gun saying the 11th. It came off the sun on the 9th. It usually takes this stuff 3 days. Add 9 and 3 is 12, not 11. Maybe they're having trouble with their math. Anyways, here they're reporting on the one that we just got from the 9th that hit us, yesterday or today on the 12th, okay? Here it is on the graph, hitting us today on the 12th. Then I want to go over to our Schumann report tonight. Holy shoo, man. Here we go. Now, we were just talking the other night about these waves of energy coming in, how they heat up the core and the shell grind. Oh, that's what I wanted to pull up, was a diagram of the center of the Earth. Maybe we'll do that here in a little bit, but for right now, while we're on this instrument, you can see what's going on here. First of all, here's our first event yesterday on the 11th, right? Now, you can see after we came out of this event, it had a little break, a little bam, stop for a second, and then another screeching of the brakes, and then came whimpering out of it. You see this weakness right here. See this shadowed, band right here. It's not very bright green in there, just a faint blue. Okay, so the shields were weak right then. We have this new wave of energy come in, get absorbed, goes right to the core. The core and the shell are already, the boundary is so close that it just got finished screeching, so any more new energy is going to make it screech again, and we are in the middle of another one of these core and shell grinding events, okay? And this is a pretty strong one. It's going kind of longer, bigger, wider. It'll probably taper off right around here somewhere. And then we have more energy coming in. So we'll see another blast. And typically this energy hits the Earth gets directed to the poles directed to the core. The core is metal, so when it heats up, it expands. The shell, the outer core, there's a there's a difference in metal there. There's a barrier there where one element is heavier than the other. Both are so squeezed down, every all the molecules are in line. So it's magnetic. We have magnetic properties that come out of the dirt. So those inner shell and core are magnetic. You got a spheroid spinning inside a shell that's hollow like an eggshell, but round, with another core spinning inside of it. That gyro motion creates the electromagnetic field around the Earth. Okay, when that core and the shell start grinding on each other, they start doing this. All right. When the shell heats up, it wants to expand outward. I wish I should pull up a diagram. I got too many things open. No, I'll explain another day. I got too many things open right now. We'll get into that maybe after the show. All right, so here we are at our Schumann, screeching again because of the inbound energy that just hit us, and it hit us when our shields were weak. All right, so it just wham. So hold on tight. I'd be careful going out tomorrow after this event. This is going to weaken, just like this event. A couple hours later, a few hours later, the shields get weak. All right, so after this event, we might see, I expect to see a little weakening event like this going on again. All right, moving on. Holy Schumann. Tonight's earthquake report, not too bad. Pretty quiet, but we'll just dance right through it anyways. You ladies care to dance? Oh, we need to adjust the screen. Alright. Yeah, it looks a little better. Okay, starting off with our deep quake for the day, 4.4 at a depth of 574. That was at 10 UTC. This one is earlier. There was an earlier deep quake here that was deeper than this one. This one's midway through the day. There was an earlier one down here that was a 4.7 that triggered this right here, this 5.1 up at the surface. Well, that's even at 193. So that's still semi-deep, okay? At 5.1, that's like 5.3 energy at the surface. Okay, so we're seeing like 5 to mid-range 5 energy come out of this region, already hit this part of the system, going up through here. This part looks naked, okay? This right here is its own new event. This is a 5.2 over here at Papua New Guinea, all right? And at a depth of 10. Now, what I want to do is zoom in on this is now... Whoops, a bunch of them are missing. This is now a new cluster area right at the beginning of this fault line right here, okay? What I got to do is change the 7 days right there. All right. This is the last 7 days, which has been just yesterday and today right here. So we're having a new quake swarm in this region. Let me take this down. And let's just go through some of these. This is the 5.2. This is a 5.2. Another 5.2. And a 5.9. So the biggest one there is a 5.9. And something just tells me, we know how the USGS is on their numbers. Okay? This is more likely a 6.2 maybe, because this was the original quake that kind of triggered this stuff in this area. So when it's a 0.9, at the end of the year tally, kind of like Dutch says, yeah, I agree with him. The end of the year tally, when they say, oh, there's only so many magnitude 6, well, they can cut like 10 of them off the list just by making a 5.9. So I kind of question this one, especially with the residual effects right there. Could be. And obviously we have a new spot, a new weakness in the crust where we have, this magma down beneath is coming up through this weak zone right where these plate boundaries meet. Red line there. Yeah. right there at the very end of it is where all this activity is going on. So as we back out, let me go back to the regular key. It looks like just one quake there, but we have a new quake swarm and a new localized spot of energy right at the beginning of this new boundary, quake boundary line, or plate boundary line. Over here, this is a 5.3 at a depth of 24. That mid-range 5 energy that was creeping up the system. Okay, here we got a 4.5 at a depth of 35. Our little other quake swarm area that was here at the band to sea is quieted down. It's a 4.6 at depth of 10 there. Over here, this is a new little one. Now, here we go. A 4.4 at a depth of 534. This quake is in a region that's not known for deep quakes. This little guy is going to create energy around here on its own. It could possibly trigger its own little residual quakes along this line. And as we look, let me back out a little bit to right there. This whole region is all naked, just waiting for another quake to come in. So 4.5 to mid 5 range energy coming in. This and that's something else I need to talk to you about at this point right now. Okay, so freeze everything while we're talking about this for a minute. I've watched a trend lately that's been going on, and when we get impact from the sun, it swells the core swells the shell wants to expand, but the magma and the pressure from up above squeeze down so hard onto the shell that the shell can only expand downward onto the core. So as the core swells, the shell swells down onto it, and they just grind right away. So that boundary area is really thin and really close. This new wave of energy coming in is going to cause a big burp underneath the lava way down deep, and we're going to see a deep quake, and I think we're going to see a bigger magnitude come in here, bumping us from 5s to possibly 6s running in through the system here on one of these days here pretty soon. Once all that has been absorbed to the core of the shell grind, the finishes, transfers up into the magma. All that magma roils, causes turbulence underneath the underside of the crust. That turbulence comes up through perforations in the crust. It comes up through fissures, weaknesses, causes earthquakes and stuff. And since the boundary is so close, and we do have another inbound wave of energy, I believe it could up the magnitude of these quakes, possibly by a magnitude. We might see something come out of this and start putting 6 type range energy in here, because we've gone from mid-range 3 to 4, then mid-range 4 to 5, now mid-range or 5 to mid-range 5s now, and it seems that we're on this little staircase going up, and we do have another incoming blast that has yet to fill in all the gaps. See all these naked places right here? They have yet to fill in. Okay, this is nothing. This is a 4.5 here at a depth of 10. Old energy getting out of the way. Look how there's nothing been in this area. The only quake in this area is a mouse fart at 4.6. Not a mouse fart, but that's, nothing too big. We had a little energy disperse here to the Wanda Fuga 3.9. Thankfully, nothing big here. Thankfully, nothing big. We don't want to see anything big here. So, any kind of influx in new energy bumping something up into the 6 range could travel all the way over and dump off a mid-range 5 or 6 in this region eventually at the end of the process. Okay. Look how quiet the Cocos Plate is. Hear how quiet South America is. It's got 2 quakes, but it's 4.7 and 4.2. Then we had our incident here in Brazil where the water rushed in, the tsunami. Oh, I should have pulled that up for the intro. Anyways, there's footage out there pulled a lot of cars into the water all along the coast there for a while. It wasn't a huge tsunami, but it wasn't earthquake induced. And I feel that the passing body, just like the moon tugs on the water and shove water into the inland, and they even showed water going out first. So it was either an underwater landslide that nobody knew about. They say it's the atmospheric pressure, which I kind of believe because that's what would occur if one of these bigger bodies were to interact geomagnetically with our planet. They have a magnetic field. We have a magnetic field. They get too close. They interact. You could see geomagnetic effects because of that interaction. Okay, that's basically what I'm trying to spill here. Um, Not much else going on here. I just want to point out all this area. I'm not going to predict an earthquake, but it's just how it works. We're going to see mid-range 4 to mid-range 5 possibly fill in this area. It's been skipping this focal point. This place used to land one every time. It seems to be jammed up. It hops over and dumps off two over here usually. And here's the two that it dumped this time. 4.5 and a 4.6. All right, and that's in Tajikistan. Then look how bare and naked Europe is. There is super volcano getting ready underneath Italy. They're having lots of movement detecting. Okay, see how locked up and quiet this is? That area is due for at least 4.5 because this energy is still coming in. And then when the next wave of energy comes in, 5.5, maybe even 6 coming in to that region here in the near future. Okay, I saw a little thing out from Dutch tonight. He's downloading a video that's coming out here in 24 hours, so I look forward to seeing his report. I like his reports. We don't agree on everything, but it's good to see a fellow soldier in the game. I don't like seeing him taken out. I don't look at him as competition. He's just a fellow brother. Our new quake just went off. 5.7 at a depth of 10. Here is new plate, or this new zone, or new weakness area at the beginning of this plate boundary. Okay, we were just talking about this area just a second ago, and here we go. During the report, one of our biggest quakes, a 5.7, just kicked off there. And what did I say? 6 energy. See, it's 5.7. We're getting close, folks. We're getting close to 6. So, seems to come up here, almost kind of release energy here and weaken it maybe as it enters the rest of the system. This is 5.3, so I could see this acting as a leak in the garden hose, relieving pressure further down the hose, right? Say you got a little leak that's sprouting water, the rest of the pressure down the rest of the hose isn't going to be so much. So this might be a little godsend, saving other people downstream. It's 5.7, not too devastating. That's right at the edge of where it does damage. So that's a lot of energy being released, which is a good thing. Okay, we need energy released so we don't see big volcanic explosions and magnitude 8 and 9 quakes and stuff. Okay, so bingo, new quake 5.7 coming in just now. Maybe we'll even come back to this and take a peek later on and see if anything else has landed. Now to something new. Here's the live meteors live stream here. Okay, and I got it muted because the sound it makes is pretty obnoxious. Let me just make it full screen for you. Kind of brighten this up. We're going to talk about this instrument for a minute and what it does and how to enjoy it. Right now it's pretty inactive. You can see this little zone right here is almost looks like space. Okay, a lot of little dots coming around. Now when a meteor enters our atmosphere, you're going to see it up on this, a spike on this. You're going to hear a tone like a high A, boop, for as long as it is penetrating the ionosphere, okay? Then once it kind of penetrates through, it'll stop and you'll see the head and the tail growing on this instrument, and it'll even leave a little reading down on this red line, a little spike. And lately it's just been totally bland. There's no spikes in there to report on, which is good. And I'm going to give you a quick sample of the sound, and maybe we'll get lucky and a little one will pop through real quick while we do the sound test. Is it going to work? All right, the sound of space. Now, when a meteor goes through there, you're going to hear that staticky sound, but a little tone, a little boop, until the event's over. So here's this instrument like it should be, nice and quiet, and it'll only do one little streak right down the middle, right here. It'll show your meteor, okay? Right now, it doesn't have anything to sample to show you as an example. There's not even a single one today. Ooh, did you hear that? There was a little one. I'm just kind of searching real quick here for an example, because I thought maybe the Lord would just provide one live while we're... There it goes. There's a little one right there. Did you hear that little ping? Lord, would you do another one? Another little pings for an example for the audience. Anyways, hopefully you heard just that little boom. That's an example of what this instrument should look like, because now I'm going to give you something, an event that happened a while back. So let's mute that. Put that on. Now, I've been watching that instrument for a long time, and I had never seen anything quite like this happen. So we're going to play this video here. And you're going to hear multiple tones at once, not just one.
So I got you back over here at the Meteors Live website, and we're seeing some more of this unusual activity going on here. And you kind of watch as these shapes come through.
Right.
Through here, and I'll put a little tone on for you so you can hear what's going on here. So now we had something similar to this happen back in August. I think it was around the 8th, and then again on the 13th, when we start getting massive readings with all these spikes and all these stars lighting up here. And in a few here, you're gonna see this instrument really light up the full spectrum here. It'll continue going.
All right, here, I guess I need to fast forward through this a little bit here.
Take note of this single tone.
Oh yeah, hang on.
Here. And then in a minute here, you'll notice a change.
All right, let's get a little deeper. Here we go.
Tone now.
So something is causing disturbances in the atmosphere. They're causing this meteor stream to produce this effect. So keep an eye on that thing, because pretty soon I expect it to do more of this stuff as well. Okay. So imagine one night you're watching this boring old thing and you just got a little bit of sound going on in case a little beep comes through. Ooh, there was a beep right there. And then all of a sudden it starts going crazy and producing this stuff right here.
That's huge. It's all the way across the spectrum. All those spikes are spiking.
And this place has... Oh, where is it? Let's go back to the other one. Pause on that. This has a little chat room. You could bring your buddies over here and have your own private chat room Everybody can join in right here, and you could have this on in the background. You don't even really need to listen to it until something big goes off. And every once in a while, we would timestamp. If somebody had this in the background and they heard one, they'd come over here, look at the timestamp on it, and then put the timestamp up on the chat. So you could come into the chat and go, oh, look, somebody recorded one at 10:50. You go back to 10:50, and there it is, and you could view it. Anyways, there's a free and open chat room here for you guys to just pillage if you wanted to. Not pillage, but I'm just saying it's a free place to, nice private quiet place to come and chat with a couple of friends, invite them over here, and you guys could just have your own chat uninterrupted by everybody else while you have this going on in the background. 2 and 1. Okay, so now away from that, we're going to skip some of the other stuff and just get right to the weather. Get this done and out the way so we can get to the spiritual report. Okay, lots of important stuff in the spiritual report. Okay, pretty soon I'm going to probably do less and less weather solar unless it's totally major, and dedicate more time to the spiritual because we're all gonna need it here soon. Alrighty, so here we are, current conditions. I need to take a sip. I need to open a new one. Bear with me while we'll just go ahead and get the loop running. You guys take a peek at the loop. There wasn't much going on last time. And as you can see, basically this little thing right there and a couple of impulses coming in from the Pacific Northwest. See that thing combined right there? That's the one we have to worry about on the East Coast right there. That was back on the 23rd, 22nd or something. But everything else, basically, except for this one here, comes up and scrapes along there a little bit. We'll talk about that one just a little bit here real quick. Get to the... Let's just back up here. Gonna be faster that way. Okay, oh, whoopsie. Get it just right so I can use the buttons and you guys can see most of the map. Alright, so current conditions right now. This is nighttime, November 12th right here. Get some color on that side for the Pacific Northwesterners. Okay, here we go. That's the nighttime, current conditions right now. As we go into the morning of the 13th, you can see this kind of spreads out a little bit. We have this impulse down here by off the coast of Texas, bringing moisture into the midway up to Texas. It intensifies in the noon time of the 13th here off coast, still dragging moisture with it though, okay? We have inbound energy at the same time this is happening. This could get a little stronger than it's showing here. Let's pray it doesn't, okay? Now, excuse me here. At this point, this is the end of convection. When the sun goes down, the thunderheads are at their highest. Come here. Please help. And I want to zoom in. All right, there we go. So at this juncture, this is going to be the end of convection, sundown tomorrow, the 13th, and this could have the potential to blossom a little bit harder, possibly drive a little further deeper inland. They're showing red, yellow. There's possibility for water spouts making landfall, okay? There's possibility, there's going to be high winds, all right, no matter what. High winds, hail, lots of flooding. So watch out for this little event. It kind of scrapes along the Louisiana coastline right there. That's all lowlands. That could easily flood. It does easily flood. So back out to the right perspective. Right about here. Then, so that's kind of your major event that we have to watch out for in the near future is this down here by Texas. It could, if it shifts a little bit, if one of these passing objects drives us in a little further, it could be anywhere in this area, okay? So watch your weather closely tomorrow, especially at the end of sundown. Watch your thunderheads growing during the day. If you see towers growing way up there to, 20, 30,000 feet, 15,000 feet, you better start seriously considering what you might do if there's an event. All right, so going into the nighttime, it doesn't dissipate, it just kind of hangs out there on the coast. This is the morning of the 14th. It drives even into Mississippi, Alabama. See it making landfall there, almost like a hurricane, but it's a tropical depression probably. Or it looks like it. Then it kind of skirts along here. Everything around it is still wet. Don't forget. Then it kind of makes a little landfall here in Florida. The morning of the 15th dissipates through the noontime. Whoops. Okay. And then the end of convection on the 15th is just residual energy here. This cold air mass pushing across the country. It's going to be really cold back in here for a while. Got a little snow up in there. So the basic thing for the weather is we got this huge cold air mass that's going to cut the country in half and just drive right across here. And little chance for this down here in the panhandle, or a chance down there in the panhandle. That's the morning of the 16th, noontime. The end of convection, the 16th. This big low pressure up here in Canada. A lot of snow up here in the backside for the Canadians. That's it looks like to be a powerful system for them. That's the morning of the 17th. See how this band of moisture still, the tail still drags down here. It's going to bring rain to the whole East Coast right there. Little chance for severe weather in upstate New York. Right here, this one is at 10 p.m. This is the end of convection on the 17th, blossoming even more possibly at night all through these little yellow spots. And those are the ones that are dangerous that kind of pop up like that. So watch out nighttime, nocturnal event along the East Coast on the 17th. Anything after this is kind of garbage. It's too unpredictable right now. But watch this thing combine right here with this cold front. See that warm air come up and combine with that. Where they collide, there could possibly be something. You see stuff tailing down there. But then it really gets intense right here again and produces this. This is what they're forecasting for the 22nd. This looks a little too far in the future. You know, it depends on what comes off the sun on the 19th or around that area. So that could be a scary event if that came true, because that's a huge patch of severe weather. You got a strong low grabbing a lot of moisture. That's almost like a small land hurricane almost. All right, so let's pray that this doesn't happen, that doesn't pan out, but that's kind of further down in the future, okay? So I'm not really too concerned with that yet. This model changes radically now so much. And there it intensifies more at the end of convection. Here, what? Let me show you this. Dang it. Not that. This. Sorry I zoom in and out so much. It's the only way to kind of use these instruments or get each way through. All right, that's pretty strong low right there. So we'll watch this as they combine there. And that would be nighttime, I believe. No, that's the end of convection, November 22nd. Okay, so with the sun blossoming, dang it, blossoming in this area all day long, lifting cloud heads really high, could produce just this massive area of severe weather. You see how these two areas collide right there. Okay, so we'll watch that closely. It moves offshore, bringing snow to Maine through the 22nd. There's the morning of the 23rd. Moving out. There's the 23rd. There's the 24th. So pretty clear country. Got this little low that moves in here. A little patch of snow moving in there. They collide together. Here's another one of these collisions of warm, moist air coming up from the Gulf and cold air coming down from Canada, producing this wild effect here on the 28th. It's probably not going to happen, but let's just zoom in on it just in case. All right, you guys, be aware in this area. This is still like a week away or so, But watch your weather. Don't let this, because I showed you a week too early, don't let this catch you off guard if it does happen, especially with these objects moving through. If this is already the potential the computer has, and then something else comes along and adds to it, that can be really ugly right there. And that's Texas, Oklahoma. It's widespread up into Nebraska, all the way down to off the coast. It even reaches into Louisiana. So that's a pretty healthy chunk right there. And that's forecasted. Let me just pull back again. Remind you guys one more time here. Uh, that is forecasted for the noontime of the 28th. Okay, so the 28th, you guys in this region, have your head on a swivel, watch your weather, your local weather forecast, so you know to go out before prepared. Okay, and that's the very end right there. That's the last frame of the model showing basically a land hurricane. That's why hopefully that doesn't come true. That's the very end of the model run. So that's it for the weather solar report. Now let's get on over to the spiritual report. Hopefully there's a new person that I saw and invited to the channel. She may be here, she may not. But I invited somebody tonight because I was going to show some angels that I captured, and she wanted to see them. So, if she's around, this is for you. You know who I'm talking about because I talked to you earlier today. If she's still here. If not, she'll probably watch it on replay. Okay, so a lot of you guys are familiar with this image here. We're just going to get into it a little bit real quick. From this perspective, this sleeping child here, there's a little angel right here hovering above him. This is the wing going up here. The body's actually laying at a 45-degree angle, so if you tilt your head to your right shoulder, not your left, some people don't know right from left. Tilt your head to your right shoulder about 45 degrees, and then I'm going to play this real quick, and you'll see as we zoom in and out on this angel here. Oh, where's the volume? Come on, volume. This is an angel that was captured on my security cameras, and now I've run it through the filter here. So if you turn your head to the right, about 45 degrees, you can make out the head, the hair, the breasts, it's a female, the torso, the waist, the legs coming down here, a wing coming off here, a wing coming off over here. And we'll zoom in on this real quick because this one's nice and clear that you can. Okay, and this is an angel that was caught hovering in a shaft of light over this sleeping child down below here. So, zoom in on it again. Just excited that you can see it a lot clearer now because before it was kind of faint, and now with these filters I'm able to make these images pop a little bit more for you guys so you can see. Just real quick, a lot of people have pointed this one out too. I'm just wondering if you guys can see this evil face right here too with the eyes and the teeth. Kind of tilt your head a little bit. You can see this evil little entity right here looking in, and this guardian angel protecting this kid while he sleeps. I'm sorry about the way I have to do it. Come on, why is it? The camera and the computer, but I don't have any other option. So, but I just wanted to bring this angel to you for a moment so you guys can see that this is real. This is security camera footage that's admissible as evidence in a court of law. So what you're looking at right there is admissible as evidence in a court of law. A legal angel. It's a real angel right there, sleeping over this kid, over this sleeping kid here. All right, so there's that one. Dan, what was the other one I was going to show? Oh, that was part of the intro. Okay, well, maybe that's good on that one. Let's get back over here to the most important image ever, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not trying to brag or take credit or anything like that. I know it's real. It's like the most important information we've had in... Sorry about that. Oh, wonderful ads. Bear with me just another 5 seconds. 2, 1, there we go. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So I know there's a lot of activity going on the sun, but I really don't feel like reporting on that stuff right now. Actually, I want to go back and revisit an event that happened earlier this year, 2020, around Easter, when I captured what appears to be Jesus in the clouds here. So I need you to tilt your head to the right about 45 degrees, and here's an eye, his other eye, his nose, his mouth, his chin and beard, his hair flowing back like this, and you can make out a crown up here above his head. That crown is hovering over his head. There seems to be almost a little halo around his head, too. And once you see that image, look, yeah, we can zoom in just a little bit tighter. There you go. Actually, we need to go back. Seems to be almost a little halo. I think it, whoops, around his head, too. There, that's probably a little bit better. This one you have to kind of pull back. You can't zoom too far in on it there. All right, hopefully you all can see this image. All right, we play it all the time. But it's important to know it's a real event. It happened on Easter. It turned into a lion, okay? I gotta drive that. It's so important. This is a 2,000-year-old prophecy that came true. Everybody was asking him, what's going to be the sign of your coming? What? And he listed all this stuff off. It's all come true. I saw it come true. So then the prophet says, when you see that, look up. And I'm a guy that's always looking up. And lo and behold, look what happened on Easter. So there is that to look at while we look up something to read here for you. Hopefully you guys are hanging tough out there. I know things are getting pretty wonky. And really testing your spiritual resolve. Alright? Got you guys questioning, who to trust and what to trust. Can't even trust the media, the government, or anything anymore. So, here I need to do this real quick. Bear with me while I get ready for the reading tonight. Let me just do this real quick and we'll start showing some other stuff from my channel. Alright. Keep your eyes on me, not only for direction, but also for empowerment. I never lead you to do something without equipping you for the task. That is why it's so important to seek my will in everything you do. There are many burned out Christians who think that more is always better, who deem it unspiritual to say no. In order to know my will, you must spend time with me, enjoying my presence. This is not an erroneous task, but a delightful privilege. I will show you the path of life. In my presence is fullness of joy, and at my right hand there are pleasures forevermore. Rest in the stillness of my presence while I prepare you for this day. Let the radiance of my glory shine upon you as you wait on me in confident trust. Be still and know that I am God. There is both a passive and an active side to trusting me. As you rest in my presence, focus on me. I quietly build bonds of trust between us. When you respond to the circumstances of your life with affirmations of trust, you actively participate in this process. I am always with you, so you have no reason to be afraid. Your fear often manifests itself in excessive planning. Your mind is so accustomed to this pattern of thinking that you are only now becoming aware of how persuasive it is and how much it hinders your intimacy with me. Repent of this tendency to resist it whenever you realize you are wandering down this well-worn path. Return to my presence, which always awaits you in the present moment. I accept you back with no condemnation. Okay? Something else I want to go to. Not that picture, Brian. Not that one. wants to go back to this one. Where did it go? Bear with me. Oh, there it is. Okay. Important picture right here. Do we click? Nope, that's not the right one. I went too far, I think. Bear with me just a second. Is it? No. There it is, that one. Okay, just because this is such an awesome capture, I gotta keep showing this one as well. Alright. Let me just start zooming, scooting, adjusting until you guys can manage to get this image on the screen here. I think it's too big. Let's go right there. Is that capture it? You'll notice that back behind here, this face is being projected by Jesus' heart right here. You can see it radiating out. Here's Jesus' face. He's pulling open his shirt, exposing his heart. His heart's radiating out this image in the sky. See his face here? And there's a crown right here. Alright, that's not what I want. Behind here, this face is being... Alright. Here we got it just kind of froze on Jesus' heart here. Let me just try to pull this in a little tighter for you. There we go. Alright, you can see... It appears he's wearing sunglasses. You can see his face right here with his nose coming down. Looks like he's wearing sunglasses, his hair coming down. Here's his shoulders. He's pulling his shirt open. He's baring his chest and his heart right there. There's waves coming out of this, radiating out, projecting a big face in the clouds. I've shown you these faces and stuff before, but so there's another image to look at here. What was else? Oh. Okay, so we got more to read, I guess. I thought we were done. Let me go ahead and continue reading, I guess. Come rest with me, beloved. Though many tasks are calling to you, urging you to put them first, I know what you need the most, to be still in my presence. So close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and fix your gaze on me. As you return to your attention to me, let your concerns roll off like water off a duck's back. This enables you to relax and enjoy my nearness. I am never far from you. Meditate on Scripture, search for me in the Bible. Let these words of grace and truth soak into the depths of your soul and draw you closer to me. My word is living and active, so it can infuse fresh life into you. When it is time to return to your task, bring me into those activities. Include me in your plans and problem solving. I am relevant to everything you do, say, and think. So just whisper my name, Jesus, in sweet remembrance of my nearness. In everything you do, put me first, for I am the Lord of your life. I am training you to be an overcomer, to find joy in the midst of circumstances that previously would have defeated you. Your ability to transcend trouble is based on this rock-solid fact. I have overcome the world. I have already won the ultimate victory. Nothing, oh boy. Nonetheless, as I taught you, you will have trouble in this world. So expect to encounter many difficulties as you journey through life. You inhabit a planet that is always at war, and the enemy of your soul never rests. But don't be afraid, because he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. This is a good reason to rejoice. When you are in the midst, excuse me, when you are in the midst of challenging circumstances, it's crucial to keep trusting me. Whisper, "I trust you, Jesus," as often as you need, remembering I am always near. Ask me to help you learn all that I have for you in this trial. Look for flowers of joy growing in the rich soil of adversity. The sunlight of my face is shining upon you. Okay, so hopefully this brings you guys a little bit of peace, some courage, some calm. I don't know how that's coming in. Alright, that's his heart right there, radiating out. Sorry, I gotta tilt the screen. It's either that or we just pull back like this and try to do it a little bit better that way, maybe. Alright, I guess that's a little bit better right there. Alright, real images, you guys, all captured around Revelation 12 time frame. Okay, the star alignment, this all started happening to me about 13 days before the star alignment, and then afterwards it continued. So my life has taken a weird U-turn, upside down, backwards, inside out, ever since that day. And I know why God did that to me. He wants me to bring this to you. He wants me to show you what's really going on up there in your clouds. This is why they don't want you looking up. And there's a good reason to believe. You know, we're not supposed to believe by sight. We're supposed to believe by faith. This does not ruin your faith at all. This only confirms it. Okay, so use that as confirmation, as your rock solid foundation. I've showed you other images of Jesus in the clouds. This is another incident that happened. Okay, this stuff happens around me everywhere I go. I have stopped taking pictures of it because it's too much. Some of the stuff I can't even show anymore because it's just so, I just can't even put it to terms. I just can't show you guys anymore, so I stopped taking pictures. But this stuff that we captured early on is plenty enough to bring to you guys, enough to show you here, to give you fresh manna and keep you guys full of energy, full of power. Remember, this isn't scary. You're supposed to rejoice. This is good news. Even though you're going to see devastation and a lot of hardship and stuff, this is still good news. It's just your test, all right? So hang in there. Your faith is going to pay off, all right? And it's already paying off with peace of mind and security. When you see these events happening in the news now, they don't bother you as much as they would if you didn't know. I mean, if you're still second guessing and well, could not be, now you know. You have nothing to worry about. It's all part of the plan. Okay, so take solace in this. Get comfort from these images that I'm showing you and the words that I read to you. Hopefully, they bring you guys peace and joy. Okay, and don't forget, you guys have power in your prayers. Also brings you power too. So I think that's it for tonight's show. Is that it for tonight's show, Lord? We got everything. You got anything else you wanted to read or show? You know, do you guys got questions? You guys want to chat or ask any questions? We got a little time here still left before I start wrapping things up. You guys could post a question in the chat room if you want. Or another thing I do, I try to check the comments. I'm catching up on that. For some reason, YouTube has stopped alerting me of comments. So I have to go back to the studio, YouTube studio here, to find any kind of comments on any video, and I'm like 3-4 days, weeks behind on comments. But if you don't want to pose a question here on a live stream, feel free to post a question in the chat or just even nice comments. Anything else? Oh, dang it. Keep that there, maybe. I wanted to check the earthquake again because we X'd out of it. So we'll just be kind of watching that earthquake new zone there carefully, and then also be aware that we might have an uptick in magnitude of those earthquakes. We're gonna see Another thing I wanted to address too is the volcano in Iceland. We're going to see this new swell of energy coming up from the core, and it's going to produce more energy underneath that volcano that's just about to burst already. So, if this hasn't caused it to burst, this next new little pulse of energy that comes in could push it past that brink, and we might actually see Iceland erupt again. So, the potential has just upped because of the next wave of energy that's coming in to affect the core, the magma, okay, the swelling of the earth from inside. Not a good time to be taking another shot on the chin from the sun and absorbing more energy. So hopefully we'll get some other volcanoes to release energy. We'll probably see an uptick in quakes because of the increase in pressure down below. So a couple of things to watch for. The weather seems to be pretty good, except for those couple of storms we pointed out, but we're in the far off future. So I think that's it for tonight. Thank you all for coming. I do this show late at night, so it's probably a lot of you guys stay up late just to catch this show, and I try to do it as kind of early as possible. Lately, I've been waiting for Marf to finish up, and then I catch a few people, stragglers from Marf, to come over here. So this next Monday through Friday, it'll probably be a little later after his show is over. So hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Hope you enjoyed the information and learned a lot. You guys, keep praying for each other. Pray for each other's strength. Pray for strength from Him. He provides you the strength. He gives you courage. It gives you so much. It's just amazing. So there's a lot you can get from this image, all right? So keep praying for each other. Keep praying for endurance. I know it's a long, hard trail, but it goes to a good place. So, keep your head up. Just keep trudging one day at a time is all you can do. It only empowers you enough for one day, so don't worry about the future. The stuff that you're seeing going down, don't fall for the division. Okay, you can see it. The enemy is trying to divide you. I'm trying to unite you under one banner, on one flag of love. Can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Love's going to defeat evil in the end anyway. So you picked the right side, and I'd just like to say thank you to Jesus for sacrificing like you did, buddy. He's still in pain. Watching us toil down here is probably breaking his heart, seeing us doing all this crazy stuff. So, anyways, there's Jesus' heart right there. I know it well. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy. So, that's it for tonight. I love you all. God bless you all. I miss you all. And until my next show, I'll be back. I'll be back. I am back. Can't you tell?